someone who, at my first Triton stop on the desk, seemed like he was final tabling everything and really putting the screws on some of these sort of more well-known players at the time.
Yeah, his results is more remarkable because he first started playing in Vietnam in 2023. So he's put in, you know, less data points as the other players, and he 2 titles, that much in earnings, like that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, just seems to have a real knack for the game and a killer instinct. And that's what you really need to have to be in this arena. 𝐃𝐨𝐵𝐿's going to have a potential shove spot or continue. I mean, I would imagine in the form of an all-in. 19 big blinds facing a button open, a cutoff open. That's going to be, I would say, relatively strong. And you know what? Yeah, he does lean call, perhaps.
I'm pretty sure the reason he's calling is because we're playing this format. Otherwise, he would be reshoving. He knows that Eibinger would be incentivized to even call a hand like ace-9, even for 18 big blinds.
Yeah, this hand would be really right on the line with how much that bounty is worth for Eibinger. Going to get a complete from 𝐷ingBiao, and we have a nice spread here between 3 different hands that have some equity.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh. 𝐃𝐨𝐵𝐿's top pair king kicker, nut flush draw for Eibinger with the ace of diamonds overcarding the queen.
Yeah, and I think maybe on a normal FT, Randy, perhaps we would see 𝐃𝐨 not playing this aggressively, but I mean, could we see, if Matthias starts with a c-bet, could we just see Burns raising to get this in?
Very reasonable. I think it's a bit unclear just because 𝐷ingBiao is also in the big blind on whether to raise. For now, though, of course, Eibinger's kind of deciding should I bet to try to get 𝐃𝐨 to put some chips in there. Because obviously his hand has got nut potential with the nut flush draw.
I mean, it's just, yeah, it's just so hard for 𝐃𝐨 to be behind here. You know, as far as the top of Matthias's range, something like an ace-queen, you know, aces, kings, jacks, these are very, very limited hands. And yeah, Eibinger going with this pretty chunky size. And if 𝐃𝐨 does elect to raise and get shoved on, I mean, he's going to be up against hands that he's ahead of, like an ace-9 of diamonds.
I believe I prefer flat.
All in.
It looks like he just jams, just to kind of see how the equity shift. But anyways, of course he snap calls, and this is an amazing spot for Eibinger because he can collect the bounty.
Yeah. Can he get into double digits in bounties?
Eibinger starts his hand 7th in chips. He's in a pot with the only player he covers.
I think he had like king-9 and called it off for the bounty. Okay.
Oh,
on the
that's
turn.
it.
Short and sharp.
The end of 𝐃𝐨𝐵𝐿. It's a bit disappointing, but not so disappointing for Eibinger, who collects another bounty. He's got 10 bounties.
Sure does.
That's 800K in EV.
Bountiful is the Austrian. 𝐃𝐨𝐵𝐿's going to finish in 8th place, 115,000.
We got here very quickly to the final table due to the crazy action driven by the game.
Speaking of jacks, Jeremy Ausmus. Going to raise it up.
Ausmus won a title earlier this week. It's crazy to see him here having the potential to win a second title. Already won 1.892 million in the 25K. Clemens got ace 10. Looks like he's going to stay away. Nikita Badziakouski, 6'5" of clubs. Very playable. Bounty or not, would be defending this big blind. Jeremy started this hand with 37 bigs. So it is kind of hard to get stacks in even post-flop, given how deep they are. But we'll see.
Flop is 3-6-4, 2 hearts. Nikita, I mean, probably too deep to check raise, play for stacks, but maybe not. I mean, with the bounty to consider, maybe you just want to play this ultra aggressive, and you know, if your opponent has an overpair, they have an overpair, and then you can get a potential $80,000 equity bounty and another 5 million in chips. But it's going to start with a lead instead, which I think makes sense.
I would say it's definitely not too deep to get in because of the bounty aspect, right? That's more than the pay jump, the value.
Yeah.
So he's leading here because he expects Ausmus to check back a lot of, you know, like high cards that whiff, check back, maybe even some overpairs because of how dangerous the board is. You could see it potentially. So he wants to prevent that from happening. He's probably leading the flop with air, like 7x as well as stabs.
Yeah, it's interesting because these kind of spots, I think players when they lead they are relatively balanced, but the percentage of their range that is behind jacks is quite significant. You're talking about the bluffs like the 7x's, maybe some 5x's. This is 6-5 in particular, I think is pretty high up in Mikita's range, right?
Yeah.
So Mikita might even just want to protect against the fact that he has, you know, part of that top range and just put all the chips in. And if he is up against something like this, let's run it. I'm 45%, right?
Yeah, I
2 million.
Yeah, I like this re-raise from Mikita, and it's just that if he's up against an overpair, he's practically flipping. Now he gets this overlay from the bounty because he has the covering stack.
Yeah, and Ausmus did not raise to fold here. Obviously, he's not thrilled that seeing all these bets, 4 bets, 4 or 5 bets that have to go in with 7 players left. But yeah, he's ready to play for stacks.
Yeah, I mean, he knows jacks is usually best. Has to play for stacks now. Against a combo draw like this, he's slightly ahead. And well, yeah, once you raise the flop, you've just created a situation where stacks fly in.
All in. All in.
Here we go. Look how big this pot is. Over 10 million, 11.375. And that is what Mikita wants to see. Didn't want to see like a set or like some kind of big heart draw. This is as good as it gets for Mikita to potentially get a bounty and even a pay jump if he knocks out Ausmus.
And some cards where Ausmus is dead on the turn, and that's pretty
bad.
Almost as dead as you can be. Life support. Somebody get out the defibrillators. We might be losing Jeremy Ausmus. It's going to do the trick. And Mikita's chip lead
Good game, buddy.
growing significantly. It's going to put him at 16 million. Well 2x'd of next closest, which is 𝐸𝐵𝐽. Great performance from Ausmus, as we're used to seeing.
bounties are kind of invading Clement's space relatively soon.
Yeah, it's a little rude.
Yeah, why don't you use the right side?
Yeah. Worth noting, Benjamin Tollerin now is Tollerin? Tollerin, yeah. Sub 10 big blinds. He's at 9 big blinds,
He's
whereas
down to
everyone
run
else
himself.
is 19 or more.
Yeah. Big target on his back. Or on the front. Like, there should be like a glow around you if you're the shortest stack at the table. You know, like, come get me.
Yeah.
3's in the muck. That's
Or you
busy.
should wear like you should have to wear like a hat, like a flashing hat. You know, like a red sort of like thing.
Yeah, he folded 3's on the button because he knows he has like no fold equity. So it's just like flip at best.
Yeah, especially with the raise coming in from Ding Biao.
Yeah,
I think.
Go ahead.
Well, no, you don't want to hear what I'm going to say. Your thing is definitely more important.
No, I want to hear it.
I was going to say that whoever is the leader in bounties, I think they should have to wear a cowboy hat over the entirety of the tournament.
I don't know what I was going to say, but look at this
I told
flop.
you it wasn't important.
Open-ended straight draw, top 2 pair. We could see a double up in this hand, depending on turn and river, of course. I'm actually really curious to see if Winter opts for check raise or check call because he has so much of this board. Of course, a lot of incentive to check raise just because it's more likely you can get stacks in to stack your opponent. On the flip side, you have so much of this board is kind of want your opponent to barrel off if they've got nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you have the board so crushed that it's just like, yeah, there are some less than desirable turn cards like a 10 jack or king, I guess, but in general, when you check raise here, it's just like.
Is that what he did?
Yeah, he did it anyway. He found the check raise. So sick.
So he's check raising, expecting gut shots to continue, right? Like king,
yeah.
jack, king 10, especially if they got backdoor flush draw, but they probably don't even need that to call a check raise in this spot.
And that's built into the price too, right? It's not like he's making it even 3x. It's like he's making it like 2.5, 2.6x.
Slightly discounted.
Get in here, you know, come on. The water's warm. You get your king jack off, or your jack 10 off.
Yeah, and obviously if his opponent has a queen, he wants to stack that hand. As played though, Ding's got open-ended straight draw with position, which should make him come in with call rather than rejam.
And I think Ding Biao, you know, does recognize there are some queen X hands that would.
He just went for it. Obviously, this is getting snapped off
Is that all in?
by top 2.
Good luck.
Big move. Incorrect, but still 30% equity. 8 outs.
I'm surprised what you called.
King or an 8 or Ding Biao is our 6th place finisher. Has had such a great presence in this event. More outs in the form of 2 more jacks. Two pairs no good, pal.
That's right. 2 pair versus 2 pair.
And Sean Winter, our new chip leader with 17 million chips, going for his first ever Triton Super High Roller Series title.
Also his first bounty he just collected.
Yeah, I guess he lost that prop bet we were suggesting he made.
It's unfortunate to lose Ding Biao. He was so fun to watch at this final table battling Makita. But when you just get in the weeds,
Sean, I'm proud
sometimes
of
you
you.
are the next player out.
I'm proud of you. You did it.
All right, on to the next hand. First to act, King 3 offsuit. Kind of see it as Queen 10 offsuit sent to Clemens several times now. This time he does have option to open raise. Other times he was faced with action. He's in call. Mainly tethered to the fact that Tolerine is extremely short, who's got Queen Jack suited. This is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, blinds are only going up to 400K next level, which will leave you with 5 big blinds, 5-handed. This might be your opportunity for a last stand. It's not easy. You'd hate to just get, you know, snapped by certainly a dominating hand, but you're not loving life if you're up against an ace-king, an ace-7, whatever it is. But this hand, I mean, let's see 5. What do you think?
Gotta ask the question, what is Roiter's limping range in the cutoff with Tolerine being shorter, right behind him? It feels like there's information there that can probably help Tolerine decide if how Queen Jack performs. Like, okay, let's say if Roiter has like premiums, ace king, ace queen, big pair, still limping? Or do they maybe raise? Because that would definitely shift things. If they're raising a little bit, then this Queen Jack suited plays much better as a jam.
He does it. And will get a customer in Roiter, I think, for 6.5 big blinds in the bounty.
Of course.
And a great opportunity to double.
It's actually a really nice spot for Roiter because he has a chance to get a bounty. It's unfortunate he somehow is dominated by Queen Jack suited.
Yeah, best case scenario, Ben is living it. In our last hand before the break, can Ben Tolerine double up to what would be 16 big blinds right now, but will be effectively 12 after the break? Roiter, chance to get $80,000 in equity with a 10 or a diamond. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Wow, 43% equity to collect an envelope. Oh, he's done it unless...
Yeah, we know.
diamonds. All right,
Are we on break?
he didn't sweat it.
Yeah, and Benjamin Tolerine, pardon
Are we
me,
on break?
one of the true legends of the game with 2 titles to his name and now a 5th place finish. And 0 bounties. It's the first time we're seeing a player get over the 20 million mark. Sean Winter with 21.3. Again, Sean been a regular on the Triton Super High Roller circuit since Cyprus 2023, has yet to get a title despite many final tables. So this would be a pretty nice moment for him. A career benchmark, if you will.
Ace-9 suited.
How many final tables, you ask? Has he been on? Is that what you said, Randy? 9. 9 FTs without a win.
Counted it?
I did just count it, yeah. And 1 10th place in 100K as well.
Did you include this one?
No. So this is his 10th.
Situation here. So, Eibinger's got king queen. It should smash.
This is all
The
in, I
button
think. I
range.
think this is all in and call. This is,
He's
yeah.
gonna put the chips on the white car.
Yeah, they're already on the white car. He just needs to start the engine.
Yeah,
And
still has fold equity, right?
he does, yeah, for 12 big blinds.
He's also looking at Makita, who's the big blind next, and Makita's only got 5 bigs. But king queen is king queen after all, isn't it?
Here we go, and I hope Matthias Eibinger put on his winter tires on the car.
Count, please.
6,050,000.
Yes. I hope he did. Sure hope he
I
did.
guess that's more of a like Canadian joke, you know?
Yeah. It would have been really funny if Winter had 8s. Reuters got. Oh, Reuter with the reshove with 2 4s. Winter can't believe
Yeah,
this.
heads up, you and Sean.
Yeah, I mean, if Winter could see what they had, he would be going for it. But he's got to know that he runs the risk. He said ace 10 of spades, did he?
I think so.
Yeah, no, he can't. He knows he needs to let this go.
Wow.
You just can't have Reuter open up ace jack and then.
Anything good? Did you
Winter's
raise
not going to like to see that. Pretty good news for Makita. He might get a pay
6,050,000.
jump here if Forrest can hold.
He's doing his anti-jinx thing, telling the exact amount for him to pay already. There we can see some interested parties,
Just imagine
some
calling.
colleagues,
money
friends, partners.
Sean, you would win it. I'm pretty sure.
So, yeah.
Forrest is looking good.
Flopped a straight.
Need some help? Okay.
Backdoor spades play nicely for Eibinger. Gonna need a king or a queen, or our 4th place finisher is our bounty king. Has 10.5 bounties to his name. Drum roll, please. Those people look like they're friends of the guy that might be losing.
That's me.
Ace would have been Sean
You
Winter.
win? On the river, yeah.
Great news for Reuter because
Yeah.
Winter's out
Probably
because he folded. And we actually have elimination for Eibinger where he collects the bounty.
good luck. All in.
7-5 off, snapped
Wow,
off. What does
snarped.
Makita got? Ace 7.
Dominating.
Makita's back. If he can hold here.
This is not the man you want to double up. I've been really, really impressed all day by the way Makita was playing earlier. Maybe a couple of slip-ups later on. Maybe marginal mistakes. I would hate to suggest him ever making a mistake, but if you give this man a chance to come back in this,
You'll regret it.
yeah. And that's not a good start. Needs a 5 and only a 5, or a backdoor straight, or Clemens Reuter has just doubled up an absolute assassin.
Gut shot.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
4.
6,
Yeah, there's 4 on the board.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
6 and only a 6 and a 5.
10. Straight. 5.
Makita was just trying to figure out what is the straight?
1, 2,
4 was unnecessary, of course.
7.7.
Big double up there. Makita up to 16 million. Is he just the chip leader now?
11.7.
11.7.
Yeah. Okay. 0.5.
I'm small, yeah? Yeah. How much you have?
11.9.
Quite the premium in the small blind. Ace Jack.
All in?
Maybe just rip it in. Yeah, rips it in.
Ooh,
Snap so
that's a
fast.
very close call.
Oh, Ace Queen versus Ace Jack. Huge cooler. Blind versus blind.
Chop, chop.
Yeah, this is
Take a chop.
tough.
I don't even know what I want. What do I want? What do I want?
You want me to win?
Do I?
No, actually, I think you want him to win and me left with 2 bigs. That's what you want.
Yeah.
У меня туз дама. Actually, туз валет. Ace jack is all in.
Nikita is still got the best
Huh?
hand.
Yeah, diamond's
I'm
not
ace
going to
jack.
help Clemens.
Why you put it here? I have more. I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Count afterwards. Like,
Yeah.
But I need to know my sweat here.
Eeh.
Yeah, just one of the 3 remaining jacks, or Clemens Roiter, one-time chip leader, going to be going home in 3rd place.
That's it.
I'm not sure.
Gonna do some official counting,
So
but it is
10.5,
Makita who does
11.5,
have
11.9.
the covering stack. So Makita gonna collect a bounty once again.
Get 11.9?
Yeah.
GG for the Austrian. This one being Clemens' first cash of the festival, 3rd place for 441,000 plus bounties on top.
Oh my god, I hope your sticks are not 21s.
Look at Makita
That's
sweating it
11?
hard, like, come on.
Yeah, it's worth 80 grand, right?
Mhm.
That's what the bounty,
Yeah.
on average, will net you.
Good game.
You know, he is prepared to make big plays and big call downs, but maybe the radar just a bit off there.
Yeah, I think the radar was off.
Long
He-
day, you know?
He basically just read Makita as going for max value of 8x and was just going to jam river, and it was like, I don't really feel too good about this. You know, heads up is about anticipating the moves from your opponent, their adjustments at the right time. That's how you try to create extra EV. For now, though, Winter's got 2 8s against 6-5 suited. Clearly a big advantage for him, as he is
3.5.
going to raise, and he's going to get some resistance from 6-5 diamonds. 6-5 diamonds has position. There is some stack to play for.
But a little, little scratch of the, what do you call that again?
What?
The hair right there. Goatee? Yeah, scratch of the goatee.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
it a goatee if it's just this middle one like that? I think so.
That's actually quite a bad board for Winter, but he is the pre-flop raiser, and if he had ace-x, is he really going to slow down on this flop? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I mean, he does not like this flop, but I don't know if he's that concerned about ace-x's playing his limp calls.
Yeah, but king-x can
King
definitely
X
make
definitely
Kita's range.
possible. Yeah, he's going to start with a check.
It's very, very tricky if Akita was to toss in chips at some point in this hand. I guess Winter could have some king X's. Akita picks up a pair of 6s.
Which might even be good for Winter. Just in that maybe Makita won't start bluffing now that he's turned some showdown value.
Yeah, exactly that. It's mainly Makita has an excuse to just keep checking rather than start stabbing against a perceived weak range given flop and turn check. I don't know, there's still a chance maybe he thinks he needs to turn the 6 into a bluff. It's possible, although I wouldn't expect him to think that king X would just go away given, you know, flop check through, turn check from Winter. This makes sense so far given the hands. Can the board get worse?
Yeah. You know what I just noticed for the first time? I've now been covering 2 events, dozens of hours
Mm-hmm.
here with Triton. When we get to the 1 million or plus blind level,
Mm-hmm.
it's listed as 1,000 to K in the corner.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, I noticed. I just didn't think I needed to point it out. Sure, that's cool.
1,000K. That's great.
Stacks
Nice,
are
nice
level.
win for Winter. Yeah, it's hard to make room for millions, you know? Millions are a lot.
It's very, very important to get every single chip you can, especially when you're short. Jack 6 suited versus A6. We know Winter is willing to get all of the chips in, whether...
Yeah, this might be it right here.
Yeah, he might... If Makita jams, he calls. If Makita limps, he jams. Like, Winter's always all in pre-flop. And it seems like Makita is as well, and he's in terrible shape.
All in.
Ah, yeah.
Doesn't like to see that domination nation. And is Sean Winter going to find himself with his first Triton Super High Roller title?
Go.
Been
Diamond,
on the
diamond.
tour for the better part of the last 3 years. So many final tables.
Diamond, diamond.
Makita getting greedy, wanting a
good
chance
flop.
for his 6th. Yeah, very good flop. Open-ended straight draw for Makita. Backdoor diamonds. Ace high still good. Five on the turn, changes nothing. Winter wants to get this thing off him. He knows it's time. It's his time.
He feels it. Is this it?
It is. Sean Winter is your 40K No Limit Hold'em Mystery Bounty champion. Well deserved. His first Triton trophy, first of many in my estimation. Should be very, very proud of his performance today.
Oh, yes, he should. Disappointing finish for Makita Badziakouski. He is the runner-up. No 6th title for him, but there is your champion in the 40K Mystery Bounty, winning $935,000. Collects his opponent's bounty, and he collects his own bounty. And I'm pretty sure he collected another bounty at the final table. There we go, Sean Winter.
There's producer James. He just loves schmoozing with the champions, doesn't he? He just loves rubbing up against all this victory. As we get a look at the payouts, all the way from Cale Burns, 8th place, up to Sean Winter, our eventual champion,